Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today is my first race of the week on my Road to 5k week series, whatever you want to call it. We're in a absolutely stacked split, just below 4,000 centre field. We got Basic Holly in here, a couple of the streamers in the other classes, so it should be pretty competitive. My times have looked decent, so I guess we're finally going to see if they actually are. So let's go straight into qualifying. Alright, so I stupidly turned off the recording during quali, but managed to put myself P6 out of 12 for now. Pretty happy with the lap. I think I made a mistake which cost me a tenth or two, but other than that I'll need to review the data, see where else I can improve. So let's head on to the race now. Alright, so just a little bit of backstory into my 5k stuff that I'm doing this week. So I broke my finger a couple weeks ago. It is still broken, so I'm driving with two of my fingers on my right hand gripping the steering wheel, so definitely not optimal, but it seems to be working fine for now. I'm basically just trying to make up for the time I lost not being able to race before while my finger was too bad to drive with, because we are well on our way to 5k. We're currently 4,460 I think, so 540 to go. So as some of you guys know, I hit 4k iRating at this track just a few months ago, so it'd be really cool if I could hit 5k here as well. I think we need to finish top 5 to gain iRating. What is this guy with the head doing? It's like he's on a keyboard. So my strategy for this race is to fuel save and do an extra lap, which should save me about 5 seconds during the pit stop, because it is a long lap round here. We need to save, I think, 0.6 laps over the course of the race, or over the course of the first stint. So yeah, this is my first iRacing race in nearly a month, I think, maybe in over a month. So let's see if I remember how to drive. And we should get going around here. Oh, really good start. Oh, he's crashed behind. Right, following. I really hate following big streamers. We do have a run on them. I'm going to lift a bit here. Because the tyres are still cold, there's no point taking unnecessary risk. Looks like they're battling up ahead. This corner is super tricky when you're following people. With the dirty air, it gives you loads of understeer. And another important thing about this track is that you really need to save the front tyres, because if you kill them, then you're not going to get them back, and you're going to either have to change them or deal with the understeer for the rest of the race. And off tracks are going to be super important in this race because it's so easy to get them, and we only have 17 before a drive through. And in a 45-minute race, it is going to be quite easy to get 17 incident points around here. Not the best exit out at the last corner, but we do have a big gap behind, so let's just try and stick with these guys and fuel save, like I practiced. Just the annoying thing here is as soon as you fall out of slipstream, you can't get it back, because they'll just keep pulling away more and more. But there's usually quite a bit of drama at this track, especially through traffic, so just gonna have to wait for that. And then we eventually get to the fuel, we're not gonna want to take that much extra. We still got to save 0.3 laps to do the extra lap. And we got our first incident point now. So I've still got to save about 0.2 laps worth of fuel to do the extra lap. And that was a lap 10 in P2 there. And we are catching up a little bit to them. Just losing down the straights because we don't have the slipstream. Yeah, we're getting gapped down the straights. Yeah, I didn't have a very good lap there, but pace in general is right with these guys up ahead. Yeah, I think all the time they're gaining right now is just not having a slipstream. Because they're not really losing through the corners, we're actually gaining on them. That may also just be the trade-off for having the slipstream, is that you then have the dirty air through the corners. Looks like there may have been an incident behind, so we are safe now. Just need to hope that these guys aren't fuel saving, or that they have an incident which allows us to catch up. These off tracks do annoy me though, because you can gain loads of time just by taking an off track every so often. But I don't really want to be doing that. Like here, I remember last season you could gain a good 10th or 2 just from braking a bit later, taking more of the grass on exit, and you could do it just because there was no punishment other than one incident point. I think if they made it so that every incident point was like a 0.3 second time penalty at the end of the race, that would be a lot better. We are currently sitting at a nice 4 incident points though, so we have a lot to spare. Let's see how much fuel I need to save here. Okay, so we could do this right now, but it would be there would still be a stretch. So let's just keep going with the fuel saving. But yeah, I can't remember if I mentioned it already, but this is one of my favourite tracks, so I am planning to sweat this week, make up for the lost time from when I broke my finger. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Do iRacing need to punish off tracks more during all races, or just some of the races at tracks like this where you can gain an advantage from them? Because they do not have slowdowns in the correct places here, so you can get away with a lot. So yeah, let me know down below. Okay, so these guys are pinning already. I'm assuming that's to avoid the GT3 cars. But I tried that last season and it did not work at all. So I'm gonna stick to my original strategy. Oh, GT3's off the road. But I don't even think we're close enough to the GT3s that was the best opportunity to pit. I think they still could have waited another lap or 2. Halfway through the race now. Because yeah, this is what I was thinking. The GT3s now pit. They'll pit a lap or 2 before us, I think. So you, by pitting earlier, you just put yourself back into that GT3 traffic. We are going to have to be aggressive through this GT3 traffic though. Not being silly, sending people. But we are going to have to be a little bit mean to these GT3 cars just to make sure we don't lose loads of time behind them. We've got 2 more GT3 cars there. I think I can get them before or going into the kink, which is just ahead after the carousel here. Not sure about this Ferrari though, but I can definitely get this Merc. Gonna have to be aggressive, I'm sorry in advance. Okay, that worked out a lot better than I thought. Don't think he is happy though, but... And now the rest of these guys are pitting and we have 2 laps to go now until we pit. So just check, we have no tyres and we have 0.4 margin for the fuel. Okay, so we're going to pit next lap, and the 2 guys ahead are also going to pit next lap, I think, so let's see how this goes. Then we will pit now. Right, decent stop. Okay, there he is. I think he might get us here. Oh, that's them just coming by now. So I think we ended up in the same position, but we're now a lot closer than we just were. Unfortunately for us, that's the last of the GT traffic just here. So we're now going to have to do this on pace. Unless there are some slower cars that are just up ahead, but I do not think there are. Alright, just 2 seconds behind now. Let's see what we can do. If we can catch up. These guys are very fast, so I'm not sure what to expect. Still 11 minutes left. Alright, this is some really good timing with this GTP car for me. I'm hoping he's going to get these guys just into the corner and cost them some time, which he is, it looks like. I'm still a couple tenths faster than this guy ahead, but annoyingly we are just, without traffic, we're basically doing the exact same lap time, so I'm not able to catch up. Oh, 8 incident points now. This dirty air won't be nice into turn 1. I lost lots of understeer now. Nice move around the outside on that GT2 car. Although, we have one more lap to do now. I'm right on the limit of fuel, so... Alright, barely over the line. To come home P5, so not a bad result. I think if we can stay in the slipstream with the guys ahead next time, we can definitely be fighting for a podium. But they were just able to gain so much time in the slipstream while I was stuck behind them. Let's see what I gained. Alright, so we lost 8 iRating and we lost 0.35 safety rating. So I actually don't think the race was bad. It's a shame we lost in rating, but I have high hopes for this week. I think that was pretty promising, considering that we fell out of slipstream at the start. And then I'm going to do a bit more quali practice just to see if we can start a couple positions higher in the races. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you again soon.